You are listening to the Slow Living Podcast, and I'm your host, Stephanie O'Day. What if I told you that you could truly have the life of your dreams, the life you've always wanted, one filled with abundance, joy, and a sense of purpose? It's absolutely possible, and I see it each and every day with my coaching clients. It all starts with learning how to slow down. You deserve to live the life you've always dreamt about. Let's get started. Hi there, Slow Down Society, and thank you for being here. We are recording episode number 54 today, and I've titled it, SMART Goals Are Stupid. And I'm going to stand by that because I don't know about you, but in every time management class, goal-taking class, any sort of business seminar, any personal development book or workshop, the idea of SMART goals keeps coming up over and over again. And I think in general, they could work, maybe, perhaps, if you were a robot. But in real life, they really just sort of make you feel bad and kind of set you up for failure. And I don't want that for you. And I don't want you to think that having lofty goals and dreams and wishes is not something that is for you. And I don't want you to think that the reason you think you can't live out the life of your dreams is because you can't meet your goals because you've tried it before and it doesn't work. So we're going to take a deep breath today and know that I do things a little bit differently, and I do not like data. I do not like spreadsheets. I do not like linear things. And you absolutely can wake up every morning feeling fulfilled, feeling joyful in your heart, feeling like you have a sense of purpose and belonging, and that you are worthy, and that you are amazing and wonderful. And not necessarily look on paper at a constant line graph that's going up and means that you're quote unquote checking off everything on your to-do list and meeting your milestones and your actionable goals. You can still be happy and fulfilled and prosperous and just love every bitty bit of your life, even if you don't follow SMART goals. And so for today, we are going to throw SMART goals out of the window. So if you are not familiar with the acronym SMART goals, I'm going to share it with you, and then we are just going to dismiss it because it's not something I want you to marinate on because I truly think they're stupid. Okay, so the acronym is for S is specific, and it's your goals. This is not according to Steph. This is according to the SMART goal people in the world who are really mostly probably straight white businessmen. So chances are, if you're listening to this, you are not a straight white businessman. Also, a straight white businessman who is in sales, because I think a lot of this came from the olden days of like door-to-door salesmen and deciding that the more doors you knocked on or the more calls you made, the chances are you would make more sales. And it was all just a great big huge numbers game. And so that's where this came about. And I am all about squishy, lovely, wonderful feelings and having all of the feelings, but only acting on the facts. And I coach my clients with feel all of them. Like you can feel great one second and lousy the next. And I'm not going to make you wrong for that. You are allowed to have all of these feelings, and then we will sort of circle them and then act on facts. Okay. So SMART goals, S, specific. Your goals, not me, Steph. This is the definition. Your goals need to be well defined. You should be able to say exactly what your goal is, where you can go to accomplish it, who you will need to work with, and what resources you need to access to accomplish. So that's S, specific. M, measurable. Your goals need to be trackable. If you cannot track your successes and failures, you'll never know what you have accomplished. A, attainable. SMART goals need to be realistic and achievable. R, relevant. Your goals need to align with the vision you have of the life you want to live. So in this definition, they're using R for relevant. Sometimes people use the R for realistic, meaning if you're 5'5", chances are you're not going to play in the NBA, and chances are me as a middle-aged mom is never going to be an astronaut. So having, maybe now you can buy being an astronaut, but you know what I mean. Okay. And then 5T, time-based. Your goals need to have a specific target date. Okay. So that is what the acronym means. And this is why we're going to throw that acronym out the window. And we're going to focus instead on feeling and making tiny little baby steps towards obtaining the overall arching feeling you're trying to get. And so for most of us, it's a feeling of peace. It's a feeling of calm. It's a feeling of contentment, of happiness, of feeling worthy, of knowing deep down inside you're doing your best and that you're proud of yourself and that you love yourself. And especially for women, I think we are so looking for someone somewhere to kind of anoint us with feelings of worthiness. So maybe it comes from Disney and Prince Charming or something, of someone somewhere to come save us and make us feel worthy. Like, okay, if only I can look a certain way or act a certain way, I will attract a certain kind of person who will come in and wave this kind of magic wand and tell me everything is going to be okay. So maybe that's you. And maybe this is kind of your wake-up call that you need to be your own Prince Charming. You need to have your own magic wand. And you need, from the inside, to feel already this feeling of belonging, this feeling of worthiness, this feeling of loving yourself so much that you radiate outwards, and you're not trying to attract anybody in any way to come and save you. Because if it's meant to be, it's up to me. You know already deep down inside what the very next step is that you need to take. And it comes from kind of calming down your mind and calming down all of the frenzified thoughts and just going slow, maybe taking some time to do some meditation, do some journaling, and then map out a plan, and then inch by inch moving forward towards that. On the coaching worksheet that I do with my one-on-one clients, and it's also in the course materials in the Simple Shortcuts to Peace course, we have a worksheet called The Daily Work. And the daily work is a journaling exercise. If you email me, I will send you a PDF of the daily work and you can get started right away. Even if you're not quite ready for one-on-one coaching and you're not quite ready to take the plunge into the Simple Shortcuts to Peace course, I want you to have this PDF, this printable, this daily work, because I really do think that the mindset reset is kind of hard to say. We should do that 5 times fast. Mindset reset is the overarching great big huge idea. It doesn't matter whatever it is, the goal you're trying to chase, a certain number in the bank account, a certain type of house you're trying to get, a certain job, anything that you think you're chasing and trying to achieve, it really is the feeling. You think somehow deep down inside, when you have this thing, it will make you feel better. And I don't want you to delay the feeling better. I want you to start feeling better now, right this second. So if you're delaying to feel happy when you land this certain job, or you get this certain partner, or you get this promotion at work, or you hit a certain number in your bank account, and you're not feeling calm and peaceful and content and happy and fulfilled and worthy right now because you're waiting to get that thing in order to feel, that's where the disconnect is. That's where the daily work comes in, because I want you to wake up every morning feeling as awesome as you possibly can. That doesn't mean that you don't feel tired. And it doesn't mean that you don't have aches and pains and a crick in your neck because you slept funny. That's okay. That's a sensation. Have all of the sensations, own it, but don't let it overtake your whole entire day. And when I say your whole entire day, when I do the daily work, even for myself, when the first question is, how do you want to feel today? So sometimes I say at peace. Sometimes I write in the word confident. Sometimes I want to feel enthusiastic or hopeful. So picking those words, that doesn't mean the intention I have at 6 a.m. carries me all the way until 3 p.m. when I'm a little scatterbrained and I'm still trying to get things done. We're not robots. I am not a Stepford wife in any way, and nor am I trying to get you to become that way. It's just a bit of a wake-up call and kind of shaking your head a little and being like, okay, I am way off course right now. I'm going to drink some ice water. I'm going to reset. I'm going to take some deep breaths. And I'm going to go back and attempt whatever it is, whatever problem I'm having right now, with a different mindset. And it's a little bit like course correction. So with the mindset work that I do with my coaching clients and how I talk about it in the Simple Shortcuts to Peace course is mindset work and having that be your overarching goal is to feel better and keep moving towards the things that you want in life, your great big huge, your version of the American dream. The mindset work is sort of like the bar in the driving. What is it? It's not a game. What is it? Oh, it's the driving ride. That's the word. Sorry. I'm recording this early in the morning and sometimes my brain isn't fully awake. The driving ride at Disneyland or some sort of amusement park where you feel like you're driving the car, but you know that there is a bar in between the wheels keeping you from going way off course. That is what the mindset work is. It's reeling you back in. It's trying to keep you focused on how it is that you want your body to feel, how it is you want your brain to tackle problems when they come up, rather than feeling out of control or completely out of your element and frenzied. In general, when you are a full-fledged adult, you have had practically every problem that kind of might bubble up. You have probably had a medical emergencies that you've needed to respond to. You have probably had a file go missing on your computer already. You probably have already had a flat tire or a clogged toilet or a great big huge spider in the house. You probably have had a prank call before. You've probably had these problems, and maybe in the past, they've thrown you way off and you've used that as an excuse to kind of go off the rails and maybe lose your temper and lose your cool. Mindset work helps you realize that you get to be in charge of you and you get to be in charge of the thoughts and the overarching feeling that you're trying to maintain. So if you are trying to maintain a feeling of calm and all of a sudden the toilet is overflowing and nasty poop water is spewing all over your freshly mopped bathroom floor, you probably are kind of annoyed and you are no longer calm. And that's okay. Feel it bubble up. But instead, perhaps, of screaming and yelling and stomping about and deciding that this toilet at 7:30 in the morning is going to dictate how you feel at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, that's the big difference. This is just a thing that is happening. It is not a reflection of you. It does not mean you are a horrible person. It does not mean that the house is disgusting and you need to burn the whole thing down and you need a hazmat crew to come. This has happened. It's not that big of a deal. We're going to clean it up. We're going to spray some Clorox cleanup. It's fine. Maybe you've got to do a couple extra loads of laundry to clean the poop towels, but it just is what it is. And take a deep breath and calm yourself down and realize this is just happening. This is not a reflection of me. This doesn't mean anything more than too much toilet paper got flushed down the toilet. It's gonna be okay. Okay, I hope that was helpful for you. One other really great, big, huge problem I want to pay attention to when it comes to making goals, and especially SMART goals and any goals in general, is the T in SMART goals, and it's your timeline. I want you to release that. I want you to literally just throw it out the window. And that will probably in an instant alleviate so much pressure. And the T, that time-based, time-bound, is what is causing you to feel behind. And if we're lucky, life is long. So last week when I recorded, I told you that I was sick, and I was sick, and I still have this like weird post-nasal drip kind of thing where I'm hawking up this kind of nasty orangey phlegm. It's disgusting. But because I was sick, I got to binge watch, and I love binge watching shows. So my oldest turned me on to The Indian Matchmaker, which is on Netflix, which I highly recommend. I feel like it is totally appropriate for, I don't know, maybe middle school age on up. Here and there, I think they do swear. I think they'll use the F-bomb and not mute it out, but it's used in an adjective. So I think it's okay. But anyway, The Indian Matchmaker. And what breaks my heart is these people talking about how they have failed because they thought they were going to be married by 30 and they thought they were going to have kids by 32. And all of these sort of time-bound ideals and what they call goals that they had for themselves, and they failed. And so you can tell from their body language and from the way they talk how disappointed they are in themselves because they didn't meet their goal by this certain time frame. And that's where the feeling of feeling behind comes from. And it doesn't feel good. And yes, some things you have to turn in on time. If you've got a paper due at work or a project, yes, there is a due date. If you're in school, obviously there are so many due dates. But in the real world, when you are trying to have different life experiences, such as getting married or finding a significant other, also a lot of the women I work with have specific health goals when it comes to weight loss or lowering their A1C or lowering their blood pressure, and they feel like they need to have this done and accomplished by a certain date. and it just doesn't work. You might, but also you might not. And if you are trying to lose a certain number of pounds by a date, and perhaps you overshoot that by a week or two, in the big, huge scheme of things, it just doesn't matter. There's this internet image that goes around, and it's this guy, and he's in a cave, and I don't know where the image came from, but he's in a cave, and he's got a pickaxe, and he's been tunneling through the cave. And on the other side of the wall, you see all of these riches and all of the gold and all of the jewels, and there's just a thin piece of cave wall separating the guy in the pickaxe and the stuff he's trying to obtain. And I think the caption was, "You're so close, don't give up." And I agree with that. And I want you to take a deep breath, because you don't know how close you are, and you really haven't failed until you give up. So just keep going. Just keep doing the thing. If the thing you're doing feels good and is sustainable, and it's moving you towards a healthier life, a healthier mental outlook that makes you feel better about yourself, chances are the person you're trying to hunt down when it comes to matchmaking or finding someone online or finding a connection, if you're feeling good about yourself and you're continuing to take positive steps forward, you will get there when you get there. And you only fail when you give up, when you quit. And I don't even like the word failure. You just pause. Just take a deep breath and realize that it's all going to be okay. This is a journey, and I want you to enjoy every bit of it and not feel down on yourself because you thought some arbitrary date or some arbitrary deadline was a great big huge honking big deal. And it just really, really, really isn't. Okay. Give yourself a great big huge hug. I think you're absolutely wonderful. I will talk to you next week. As always, leave me a voice message. Find me on social media. Track me down on email. Join me in the Simple Shortcuts to Peace course. Sign up for one-on-one coaching. I have free one-on-one coaching calls that you can put yourself on my calendar. And that's at stephanieodea.com/mindset. If those times don't work, that's okay. Just email me and say, "Hey, I want to do this, but the times that you have listed stink, but I still want to get on the call with you. Obviously, there's something holding me back and I need some help with my mindset." That's okay. We can work it out. I put a few time slots on there because they're convenient for me, and I wanted to make sure that if things were added to my calendar, I was available. But I am happy to work with you in your own particular needs and wants and time zones. So shoot me an email and we can work that all out. Okay. I think you're great. I think you're wonderful. And have an absolutely phenomenal day. Do you have a slow living story to share? Leave me a voicemail at stephanieodea.com/podcast with any questions, comments, feedback, or testimonials, and I will be sure to include it in an upcoming episode. Also, if you found value in this episode, please share it with your family and friends and subscribe through your favorite podcast provider. The more you share, comment, and leave positive reviews, the more people we can reach and share the slow living lifestyle and messaging. Thank you, Slow Down Society, and have an absolutely wonderful day.